CHICKEN. Use the code chicken in the shop. CHICKEN. Use the code.
Guys, the Chicken's here, back today with another Boom Beach video. In today's video, guys, we're going to show you where we're at in Warships and a couple other things. Also, I think there was actually a... Yeah, there's still this shop offer going on if you haven't seen it yet. Actually, that's... yeah, we already talked about that, and it was not a great offer, so... What the hell? So yeah, so what we're talking about today, guys, is just kind of the Chicken's plan here, what we're doing, what everything's looking like, and everything like that. So as you can see, it is official. The Chicken has parked. Now, I might jump back into the season if we need to. Now, here's what I'm doing. So I'm watching the leaderboards, right? So my goal with all of this is to hit the top 500. So this is what, you know, what all the top guys will do towards the end of the season. So let's take a look here. So we're currently at 130. Now, if we go all the way down, currently on the very bottom of the leaderboard, and this is what all the top guys do. This is how they plan. This is how you guys can plan when to park. I'm gonna go over everything here. So we see Sugar Pie at the very bottom of the leaderboard at 22 and 47 stars. So we want to kind of average out. Like, we'll look at it again tomorrow and we'll see what the difference is, and if it shoots up to where the last person is like ranked 23 or something, then we know we got to put the gas on and we got to get back out there. But you know, if it's like 22 and 55 stars, for example, then it's not really increasing that much, and we're probably going to be okay to park for the last few days. So that's kind of the plan, and that's kind of how you have to look at it if you do get off to a pretty good start. But it just kind of reiterates everything that we say off the start of the season. Like, you know, it's so important to get off to a good start. It's so important to get good tech early. So basically what I was able to do this season is, let's just go over the texture here. Now, right out of the gates, I didn't, you know, I wasn't doing superb. I wasn't doing amazing or anything like that. But I made pretty well most of the right tech decisions along the way. Now, I skipped barrage, I skipped bullet, and that was able to propel me to 4 engines really quickly. And then from there, I went straight up through to shock launchers, and then we just got out. We went straight to 5, and then we got the building damage and the troop health. Or sorry, we got the troop health and the heavy choppers. So I was able to, you know, once we determined our path, I was able to get on a really good run just simply by waiting, hoarding my keys, playing at the right time, and then unlocking stuff that was important, that was going to push me forward. And then once I was able to do that, I picked up, you know, 2 or 3 rank chests a day for the span of a few days early on in the season, which gave me a huge tech advantage. So once I did that, I was able to go ahead and get stuff that people didn't have, and that worked up until about 6 engines. When I got the building health, I got the building health early at 6 ERs. That gave me a pretty solid win streak. And then from there, again, I just waited. I piled up my chests, and I waited until the next time I was pushing, I was going to get the troop damage. Now, by the time I got the troop damage, everyone had kind of caught up at this point. When I had the troop damage at 6 ERs, I don't think I played a single person that didn't have it. So that wasn't a huge advantage in of itself, but I was still able to like maintain position, increase a little bit, and then basically from there, I went backwards. Instead of going to 7 engines, I went back and I backfilled. I got some defenses. I got the rocket launchers. I maxed those out, and then I got the critters, the gunboat energy, and then we got Kavan. Now, Kavan wasn't a huge help. He did win me probably a couple matches, but unless you guys are really fizzling a lot, I would not advise going for Kavan. I would say, you know, go ahead, go to 7 and try to get either the building damage. The building damage is going to be huge. That's the next piece, but I mean, it's extremely expensive on the keys, and not a lot of people are going to get there this season because there wasn't as many, like, you know, stars and rank chests and keys and that kind of thing. So that was basically what we were able to do. And yeah, so just getting those rank chests were able to get us, you know, more keys. And then, yeah, so the biggest thing was just being able to push at the right time. I found a time zone, or just a time that I found that we were able to progress, you know, pretty well. It kind of, you know, moved around a bit towards the end of the season, but that was what we were able to do. So that definitely helped us out. Now I still haven't played. I think I showed these actually in the last video. So yeah, I'm not. I am parked, which just means that I'm not going to be playing the rest of the season, depending on how the leaderboard shapes up. But I'm really trying to get that top 500 spot for once. That is my goal, of course. But yeah, I thought it would be interesting to just kind of go over like what determines when you should park and things like that, because it is kind of complicated. I've been looking at it and trying to figure it out for myself. It's like, okay, when is the best time? What goes into that and everything like that. So, yeah. So I'll show one attack here real quick. Yeah, so I'll show this attack here, and this is still kind of the current meta. Hasn't really changed, but I'll show the hit with Kavon and everything like that, just to give you guys an idea of what we were working with. It does get very tough as the bases, get rocket launchers and things like that. So for me, it was more important to keep the troops alive. That's why going with Kavon was kind of the better choice. But yeah, so I mean. So what determines when you're ready to park is simply if people aren't gaining on the leaderboard faster than you can drop rank. Obviously, is what it comes down to. But how to see that is you kind of have to watch the bottom of the leaderboard and just see how many stars it's moving up every day. If it's moving up like a handful of stars, then it's good. But if it's moving up like 15, 20, 30 stars a day, then you might be in trouble. So I don't know. I don't know if I'm safe just yet. Like I said, we're gonna try to our best to keep it working. But the good thing is that at where we're at now, I probably wouldn't go to 7 anyways. I don't know if I would recommend that unless you're higher up and you're gonna have a lot of keys and stuff to finish the season. But for most people, going to 70 Rs was actually worse than staying as a fully decked out 6-engine base. Just the layout at 7 engines was a little bit easier to take down than a 6-engine base. So that was the reasoning there. So again, I wouldn't recommend going there if if you don't have a ton of keys to really build it up and get some of those last tech nodes. So let's show you guys his hit. But yeah, so this was my last base that I was using. I think it's still very good. One of the biggest things that I found this season that really helped me out was just simply changing the base. Even if you have a good base, if everybody's using it, people know how to hit it, right? And then the attacks become that easier. The trick to changing your base is not necessarily having a base that's going to stop someone. It's just making them think, because once they think they're going to make mistakes, it's like, oh, this is weird. Like, should I go like this? Should I take this out? If it's the same base layout that everybody's using, this doesn't work early on because there's not as many different aspects and stuff that are in the base. Typically you have like 2 or 3 engine rooms and you're either pulling the heavies one way or the other. But later on in the season there's definitely a lot of little things that you can switch up that do end up making a big difference just by simply having a new base. Like I said, it confuses people and it kind of forces them to change their attack style, which makes them make mistakes. Doesn't work every time, but it definitely helps to frequently change that up. Now, before I always knew it was important to change your base, but yeah, I was surprised to find out how frequently changing the base. Like I was doing it 2, maybe even 3 times a day, just depending on if it was working. If it was working, I kept it. If it didn't work, I was changing it. That's pretty well, exactly what we needed to do to be able to stay up. Because yeah, I mean, for the most part, the attacks didn't really change. I was still using heavy chopper bombers. The tough part was as the season progressed, a lot of guys were using seekers. And so here's my take on it. Now, I don't think seekers necessarily are always broken. I don't think they need a huge rework or anything like that. But I feel like if the season doesn't, or if they're too early in the tech tree, or if there's not enough building health or something like that to to kind of counteract the seekers from just dominating simply by using them. Stupid thing. Then it becomes an issue, right? Then it becomes an issue. So if Sorry, yeah. So I mean, if you don't have the tools to stop them, then it's not fair, and then that needs to be changed. I feel like the way to balance Seekers is either one, they do less damage, or have less health or something, or they just like have to strategically place them in the tech tree so we have enough building health. That's huge. I know OP was always saying that we need shield gens, to stop them, but I feel like if you put shield gens into warships, that could cause some issues for other things, and maybe make it unbalanced like earlier on in the season. I think once you have bombardiers, obviously it would be fine, but as long as they change it so it's balanced, you could really do anything. You could put shield gens in and maybe, make them have less health or something like that, but it's still going to slow down the Seekers enough to where they can't just, you get a whole pile of them on the engine room and they're just going to fly through it. So it's a fine tune, it's a fine balance, but we'll talk more about that later on. But yeah, so that's my plan for right now. That's how you guys can determine when it's best for you to park. Just make sure you're watching the bottom of the leaderboard there, and yeah, I'm not going to go by my rank. Like, my rank drops like 50 points. That's not as big a deal as if the entry level to 500 moves up to like 23, 23 and a half, 24 within a couple days. So we're going to have to watch it. Guys, pray for Chicken in the comments that we can do it this season. I'm really hoping we can pull it together and have a nice season. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. So let me know what you guys think of that down below in the comment section. As always, guys, thanks so much for watching. That is going to wrap up the video today. Make sure to leave a like if you found it interesting, entertaining, or informative. And we'll see you next one, guys. Chicken out. Back.